of three for the Kyphosis posture exercise series. So trying to exercise out of the increased curve of the upper thoracic. Think of the warning triangle where the little old lady used to cross the road with a stick. That's the posture type which none of us want to be a prisoner to. You're using your roller again, and we're starting off obviously with standing. Your roller, just have it so that you have it against your thighs. I'm showing the soft green side forwards, simply so you can see how horizontal it is. Go back to the fact that you need to pull your shoulders away from your neck. We'll start with the familiar squats, where you hinge at the hip and then push through your heels and stand. The shoulder blades are pulling towards each other. As your elbow pulls back, cue your shoulder blades to try and connect with each other. The breath in will take you down, hinging at the hip. The breath out, you push the floor away and press gently against the rollers. So we did this in part 2. You're going to do several more. Remember, blood flow equals spinal mobilizing as the blood enriches the spinal column and everything around it. Next time you find your squat, stay. Go breathing in and out and check that your alignment of the thighs parallel. Make sure you're not gripping your glutes. And the chin nodded in, remember, no poker chin. You're going to breathe out to roll down over the belly button. Breathe in, breathe out, and just roll your arms down, feeling the connection with the obliques. Yes, you're into your kyphosis, but also you should be into your abdominals and your side bottom hamstrings. On the breath out, then pull the elbows, arms back. Breathe in, press against your roller and find your shoulder stabilizers. Breathe in, and then pelvic tilt to return the spine back up to stand. That should have been familiar. This next bit is the add-on. You're going to have the roller just below the breast area. If you want to do this in a little bit of turnout, you can. So I'm now going to have your side profile. Same rules apply for a squat. You're stood tall. With having the hands holding your roller at either end, you get more connection with your upper back. Okay. We'll keep that roller pulling against the base of the breast or halfway down the rib cage. Therefore, keeping your shoulder blades drawing towards each other. Inhaling, down you go. Keep the chin nodded, shoulders away from the neck. Exhaling, and up you push. If you can tune into the differences, as subtle as they may be, the increase of kyphosis posture, the kyphotic increase of curve, has to get as much upper back between the shoulder blades going as possible, therefore allowing the chest to stay more open. If the chest stays more open, the upper back muscles can shorten and stabilize you and work against that, which is an increased curve, limiting it to some degree, hopefully. So you keep your breath. Remember to not breathe deeply in and out. For the person with kyphosis, means the rib cage stays largely the same. Whereas if you're forcing through the inhale through the nose, the breath out being really strong and powerful, then you're more likely to make the adjustments to the posture and then more likely to keep them. We're going to add to this. So as you go down, you can feel the roller under the breast area. As you start to come up, you're going to slice the roller forward without rounding your upper spine. Pull your roller back, pulling through the back of the shoulder. Find your squat. As you're coming up and stand, float it forwards. And float it back, bending the elbows, bending the hips, and float it forwards. You keep this going. You've a lot to notice and organise, and you're not allowing yourself to poke your chin forwards. You are pulling your shoulder blades back as you pull your hips back, reorganising the muscles that want to get naturally involved, refusing your chest to close in. By pulling your elbows back and the roller back, you'll get that happening. Go down and stay again. If you have a view of your side profile, your elbows are back, your shoulders away from the neck, and you can feel your upper body. All right, we're going to finish that there. Put that roller back onto your thighs. Put your hands on the roller. Ready for rolling down, breathe in. Breathing out, don't let the roller move, but get that rib cage to flex. Breathe in, relax your shoulders. Breathe out and start to push the roller down the profile of the leg. Keep it symmetrical, breathe in when it gets to your knees. Breathe out, allow the posture to fold in half, getting your lower back involved in a stretch. Breathe deeply in, then to come back, pull the roller back till you end up with your elbows pulling backwards.
and then push the roller down again. Breathe, leave your head hanging. Pull that roller up the thighs, sliding, rolling, and back down again. The next time it comes up, stay, press the heel of the hands into the roller, breathe out, shrink the tongue, and start to roll the whole of the spine from the tailbone up, up, up. And then as you roll the shoulders, backwards they go, and pull that roller back into place. There you go. Next position, you're going to find yourself onto all fours. So lower down, the roller can become a walking stick in that moment. With the roller in place, your hands want to be either edge of the roller. So if your mat is the definition of either edge, I've got my hands on the soft bits. I'm keeping my shoulder over my wrist and my wrist under my shoulder. So I'm not like this. I'm drawing the shoulders away, creating a lovely long neck. Thigh bones, knee joints are parallel, and you go back to the knowledge of your breath. First thing to do is to draw your chin towards your throat. That doesn't mean pull the head in, it means pull the back of the skull up so that you're lengthening the back of the neck. Remember, the neck's involved in that distortion of spine. Keep breathing. On the inhale, pull your shoulders up towards your ears, and on the exhale, pull them away and down, back. So you're sliding the scapula up in the direction of the neck, back of the skull, and sliding it down in the direction of the back of the waist. So the shoulder blade likes to slide up and down the back of the rib cage. Now obviously, if your rib cage is really bent forwards, the shoulder blade has a bumpy ride because it can't find a true surface. So you're trying to get the muscles involved in lifting, that's up towards your neck, and drawing down, away, active, and therefore able to help you. Stay with your shoulder blades away from the neck. We're now going to focus on the shoulder protract, retract. Remember, your spinal shape stays neutral. Inhale, let the scapula squeeze together now, like getting skin folds. It's like your shoulder blade left your rib cage. Exhale, shrink the tongue, and pull the shoulder blades away from each other, experiencing them sliding around the rib cage structure, the bony structure. Use the breath out to feel the chest pull away. Use the breath in to find the scapula going towards each other. Exhaling. Inhaling. Breathing out. Using all of your abdominals and obliques to trunk stabilize. Last time, and this is a really hard activity to do, and when you've done the final pulling them apart, leave them in true neutral. In other words, they're neither too sunken nor too rounded. You're then going to do a baby chest press, and I mean baby because the moment the shoulder blade detaches from the back of the ribs, it becomes a negative movement to improve posture. So I'm keeping this small, keeping it as my chest opens and closes. I'm more aware of wanting to keep my trunk stabilizers than I am of breaking a world record on a kind of press up that pulls my elbows out wide and closes them in. So I'm very aware of my abdominals, my obliques as I push the ground around the breath out. You're going to do one more and push away. Your reward for doing those few good moves is to tuck your bottom under, but simultaneously flow your arms forwards to a place that's comfortable. Breathe in. Breathe out and then reverse that until you end up with your hands back under your shoulders. You're going to do one more. Breathe. Simultaneously, a tiny bit of pelvic tilting, a flowing away of your arms. Have a breath in and then breathing out. Feel the obliques. Allow your arms to move back into all fours. Your next position will take you ready for the 100 position. Now, you can use your head cushion, you can use a ball. I'm going to use the roller. This does depend on the curvature of the spine, but I want the roller not under my neck, but under the back of the skull. So the skull has a ridge, so I'm letting the roller help my face be square to the ceiling. If you're particularly petite and your kyphosis isn't massive, this might be too big, in which case you could put either the red ball under your skull or the traditional head cushion that's squishy, but got enough proudness to it. We're going to do the 100 position, but without curling up, because already your kyphosis keeps you curled. So getting you into this then, make sure this feels comfortable. Whatever you put under your head, it has to be comfortable. You're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Increasingly feeling the rib cage melt and place itself so that my middle to lower back is lengthened and imprinted against the floor. Inhaling and exhaling, keep this connection. Now put your hands flat, but side, so go flat hands and then sideways so you can feel your forearm and your elbow, stopping the shoulder round. Keep breathing, you've got that slight chin nod, so I'm looking across the ceiling, but I'm not completely closing my chin to my throat. On the next breath out, drawing up and drawing in, you feel the compression of the abdominal wall using the internal muscles that breathe you there, and you bring one leg to tabletop. Breathe in again. Breathing out. Start to bring your other leg to tabletop. Check you can see your toes above your knees and stay. You don't want to suddenly drop your chin nor poke your chin up. You're inhaling and exhaling. Now if it's too intense, holding your legs up in the air and keeping the spine flattened, then have a gentle hold here. There are no rewards if you want proper change by cheating the moment and finding another way. The only way to create strength that can resist the kyphosis of the upper spine is to strengthen the obliques and lengthen the lower part of the rib cage into the lumbar spine. So you're inhaling and exhaling. This is your equivalent of the 100 position. If you find it's too intense, put the legs down again and reorganise. It's no good ending up like this. You can't end up with this big hollow and everything sinking. You've got to keep, through your core muscles, the imprint, and without curling up, trust me, it's harder. Now, if you can do level 2, the next breath out, you'll push your legs to ceiling. Inhale. You can press your hands down and push your legs up. The only response you want to sense is that the rib cage, the navel, the spine have this strong core connection. The lower back feels completely in place in its length. Inhale, the legs bend. Exhale, they extend. Inhaling, I've got equal press with my hands, and my position of the rib cage placement is working really hard to stop me allowing any part of that spine to come off the mat. You've got another 4 and another 3. There's no other way other than to breathe deeply in and deeply out to find this moulding, this reorganisation of muscles that work harder than those that are keeping you in the wrong posture spinally. All right, 2 more. We should be definitely feeling the deep core area here. Last time. And pull your knees into your chest and allow that to go. Your next position is going to be side lying. Now this is where I'm going to use the ball. I'm going to move this out so you can see where I am. Obviously we always say with side lying, know where your lines on the mat are to know where the lines of the posture is. You can use a ball and a head cushion. We like the lordotic posture and the kyphosis really do rely on equipment for rehab. This ball is going to go middle ribs. Like where the bra cuts me in half here, that's the good place for the thoracic spine. I'm going to go down onto the ball and make sure it feels it's in the right place. I'm then going to put my head onto the head cushion. If, because the ball's lifting you off the floor more, you want your cushion onto its proudest bit, then do so. You're then going to straighten out your legs. Let me move this out of the way again. So you straighten out your legs to make sure that once you've got the head pad in place, the ball under the rib cage, that you are aligned, okay? We need the side ribs to also stabilise, even if you're kyphotic. The position you're going to work with is the lift, lift and lower. I'm showing you this because I'm going to move the roller in a minute. I'm in perfect neutral alignment, shoulder blades drawn down the back. Lift, lift and lower. Now there's a lot of stress going on because my biggest part of the spine struggles, doesn't it? Now I'm going to put the roller in front of me. I can feel it onto the thighs. I can gently put my hands here so that I can keep my shoulders open so I don't collapse into my kyphosis, and then lift the leg, exhale, bring your second leg up, and suddenly it's a whole lot easier and therefore more relevant. If you want to have your roller a bit further forwards, as long as you don't roll your shoulders, and lower. Right, listen to what I'm saying. Keep this movement going. When you breathe out and feel the ball that's under your ribs. And then lift your second leg up and then lower down again. Breathe. Top leg lifts, breathe in. Breathe out into that red ball. Keep your shoulder blades towards each other and then lower down. If it's in your neck, pull that roller right in sideways and take more load onto the red ball. Allow your head to feel heavy. So we go 1, 2. If it's in your neck, then you're not relying on this red ball under your rib cage. I'm going to move the roller so you can see more about the red ball. Breathe in. As I breathe out, I feel the red ball under me and float the top leg, float the underneath leg. And by feeling for the ball, some deeper muscles, keep the load where it belongs. 1. Exhale to the red ball. 2. Waist off the floor, obviously, in the side you're lying. 2 more. Shoulder blades. 1. Exhaling, pelvic floor, nose, spine, red ball. And lower down. And again, we go 1. Exhale 2. Red ball. And lower down. Okay, that's enough, but everything should have been passive. You're going to come off that position. I'm turning myself around ready for later, and I'll have the roller ready for later too. You're going to be doing the dart position, but as a breaststroke prep type movement. This ball is going to end up here like a middle breast or mid-sternum if you're male. You can have the head cushion ready if you want, because it could go into the forehead depending on the depth of your kyphosis. Reach the legs away, I always feel for the bottom end of the mat, and put that red ball middle breast area. Once your red ball's there, it's in the right place if there's no pinching or anything like that. It might feel invasive, but that's all. Now, what could the head cushion do? It could take your forehead onto it, just your forehead above the eyebrows, and then you're going to have your hands so that they're about slightly higher than shoulder height. I call it the W position because my elbows are backwards under my armpit, my hands are slightly wider than my elbows, and you go back to breathing onto the ball. Start your breathing while I cue you into position, assuming this is a comfortable place for you. On the next breath out, stretch the legs and get the pubic bone to imprint the mat and keep the middle rib cage aware of the red ball. Keep breathing, keep your forearms down. With the next breath out then, core connect and allow the head to push the nose forwards and look beyond the block that you've got under your forehead. Pull your shoulder blades away from your neck, feel the red ball, breathe out and come down onto the ball heavy and the head cushion. Breathe in and exhale, push the nose forwards, pull the shoulder blades back. You're getting into the area between your shoulder blades. This is so hard with increase of kyphosis. For some of you, it just might be enough to keep your forehead down and keep breathing in and out of the ball, feeling a gentle roll between the shoulder blades and back. Nothing in the lumbar spine. If I show you without the head cushion, you can see a fuller range of movement. So my breath out connects the ball and I kind of use it to move through the upper spine. Okay people, we're going to move on because we have to find a way of getting into those upper back muscles. You're now going to stay hovering or put your head cushion back if that's really intense on the back of your neck because it's your weakest area this. On the breath out, turn the thumbs to the ceiling and see if you can let the hands float off pulling the shoulder blades together as the means of doing it. I breathe out, find the ball, float my arms up only when I feel heavy on the ball, and float them down again. Breathe in. Exhale, heavy to the ball. Float the arms up. So I'm not being afraid of the ball, I'm allowing it to free up muscles in my upper back to work, to stretch me through the front of the chest, clavicle, collarbones, which allows therefore the upper back stability to work harder. All this while, navel to spine. Let your hands come to the sides of your thighs now, breathe in. Exhale and push against the ball and hover that head cushion. Inhale and go heavy against the ball. Exhale, slide the hands, pull your shoulder blades together. You're just going to do 2 more of these. Breathe and making upper back activity with an open chest. Last time. And let that go. Put your hands under your chest and by all means do a shell stretch. If you felt as though anything in your lumbar spine got involved, it shouldn't have been, but when you're learning to move the right part of the spine, it's not always easy to isolate where you want to be. So here's the reminder, other side of side lying, final activation before my roller rolls away. Stay, please. So the final activity is to get the red ball under the rib cage. Check. Get the body into a side lying balance and make sure the hip bones are stacked, one on top of the other. Allow yourself to go over that ball and have your head on the cushioning. Remember, you can use the roller. I'm going to leave the roller out because I want you to see me sideways. So in fact, I'm going to push that roller right away so you can see really clearly. So sideways position. If you're holding the roller, it will trace some of your thigh. You'll be able to put your hand on it here and it will help you keep your chest open. Don't be afraid of wriggling around until you find, yep, I'm in the right place with the ball. It is worth it with anyone with increase of kyphosis to get things as they need to be. Go to your breathing muscles and feel the expansion. Breathe in and feel the ribs go against the ball, wide. And breathe out, feel the ribs take their cue from the ball and narrow off. So inhale, wide against the ball. Exhale and narrowing, drawing up on pelvic floor, drawing navel to spine. So we inhale, let the top leg lift, breathe. Exhaling, feel for that ball and bring your underneath leg up. Inhaling and lower down, breathe. Find the ball, top leg lifts. Exhale again, underneath leg lifts. And inhale and lower down. Exhale, find the ball. Let the top leg float. Stay heavy on that ball. Let the underneath leg find the adductors, breathe, staying heavy on the ball and lowering down. If you want to put your hand in place, front you can if you haven't got your roller. Feel the ball, that's the whole purpose here, and let the leg lift. So what's happening with the use of the equipment is you can't distort the lower spine and the upper spine. The ball is helping you stay true a longer thoracic side rather than it being rounded and forwards. It's cueing the rib cage to stay lengthened and the obliques to support you as you do this abductor work and lower down. Again, anything that requires side stability with the increase of kyphosis, you're working so hard at not becoming chin forwards and rounded that's, don't be afraid of how hard this is. It is hard. Final 2 going on and last one, up, exhaling, up, breathing and then lowering back down. Okay, well done. Your final activity, as always, is to make sure that nothing you did in this third part of the series affected you. You could have your roller under your hands at this point. I will get it crawling around the mat because I think it's pleasant to get the rhythm. Any spinal change distorts rhythm, and it's rhythm that we want. So you're breathing in and out. As your breath out happens, do a slight pelvic tilt. Roll the arms away from the shoulders. So you now Length, resisting the kyphosis. Breathe. Shoulders pull away from the neck. And you come back up again. Inhaling. Exhale. You start to sit the bottom back. There's nothing heavy about this. The opening of the shoulder, the pecs, the connection through the obliques, the upper back shoulder stabilizers are allowing you to make the most of the space you just created. This is your last one. Flexion in the lower back, then length through the sternum, and then reach through your shoulders, and then passively then roll the roller back. So that's the final part of your series so far, the increase of kyphosis. Now remember, if you have a structural kyphosis, you will have to work so hard at that kyphosis not monopolising every part of your movement. If your kyphosis is through poor posture, which most of people's kyphosis is in terms of everyday life, then you'll find those exercises useful but so much easier. Whichever way, the idea is, remember, repeat, repeat, repeat over 6 weeks, and there should be a known to yourself change, a conscious sense of being able to find other muscles that otherwise were really hard work to find. Anyway, take care, enjoy, repeat, 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 link them together, play with them, and let me know how it feels. It's a goodbye from me.